Okay, today we got Marquita Miller, and she's the owner of Miller Tax Services or Tax Business. And what she does, well, what's the name of the company, Marquita?
The name of the company is Five Star Tax
Five
and
Star
Business
Tax.
Solution.
That's right, Five Star Taxes. Now, what I want to share with you all, Marquita helps entrepreneurs, small businesses like us, primarily barbers, stylists, anybody in the beauty industry. She can really help you. And we really need help because we make money every single day, but a lot of times when it's time to buy a house, time to buy a car, credit, and all of that, we are really not too good. So Marquita's going to share a lot about that with us. But first, introduce yourself, Marquita, and let everybody know what you do.
Okay. Well, I'm Marquita Miller Joshua, and I own Five Star Tax and Business Solutions, a full service accounting firm here in Kansas City, Missouri. But location doesn't mean a thing because of technology. And so we've been in business since 2000, and we have the privilege of working with a lot of individuals that are just like you, that are serving customers, clientele. They're using their passion, and they're passionate about what they do, and they really have a drive and desire to have a sustainable business. So we help them to identify where there are areas that they need to improve with their finances. Number one, a lot of times, sometimes it is getting tax compliant. And so I always tell clients, we're judgment-free zone here. We want to learn where you're at and help you to move to where you desire to be. And so, the first rule in that is to really be able to monitor and analyze what has happened and where you're at. So we work with people to get a legal structure, because that can be important if you're trying to obtain funding, if you desire to maybe leave the business for your children or something, to really make it a sustainable business model, mitigate losses or legal liability. We help with legal structure as well as getting tax preparation, getting your tax returns done, but more importantly, understanding what deductions that you're entitled to. I find so many individuals that
Hold on, it's dragging right now. Hold on one second.
all the
The internet, hold on,
they're
we're gonna
entitled
stop.
to make sure that the money that you spend in a applicable way really made in what you spend. Now, people typically know what they made. It's what they spent is where it gets fuzzy. So we help business owners with that to make sure that they understand they don't overpay. Then we help them with tax planning. You can't get to tax planning if you don't have preparation. So the planning is where I say where the sizzle's at, is because we help you to see based upon your goals. Do you need to have a profit at the end of the year? What things do we need to help you, guide you to do so that your business will have a profit, so you can potentially get funding? Or if you're not looking to get funding, let's say traditional debt funding from a bank financial institution, then we help you to figure out, okay, are you looking at equity financing? What other methods are you looking at for funding? And what do your financials need to be? What does it take to get a yes? And then we help you build a plan so that you can achieve that goal. Because a lot of individuals have goals with their business. And the goal is not to always be behind the chair forever and retire behind the chair for many people. They want to be able to, if something happens to them, they want to be able to have income beyond the chair, income that they can receive a paycheck, retirement put up. And so we help you to make that a reality. We've worked with a lot of people in the cosmetology industry to help them make that a reality.
Now, so most barbers and stylists, they graduate from beauty or barber school, and then they go work in a shop, and then they make money every day. And they kind of live like almost drug dealers. They make this cash every day, they spend this cash every day. So, but their dream is to graduate from beauty school, get their own business, make a lot of money, buy the dream home, the dream car, take vacations. But they, of course, most of them never are able to achieve that dream. So you help them do that. So take us on a journey, because there are going to be a lot of barbers and stylists that need to know from point A to point Z. They graduate from beauty school. Now they start working in the shop. Tell us from setting up the bank account to you setting up the LLC. Take us through that step-by-step journey.
Gotcha. So one of the things while you're in school, it is never too early for you to start thinking about your business. I like to say you have to begin with the end in mind. So number one, you want to write down, what do you want your business to look like once you go out on your own? From that standpoint, is your first transition going to be in a shop with someone? Guess what? You're still in business. And if so, are you going to do business under your name, your personal name? Or are you going to do business in a brand or a company name? Are you going to build a brand? Because by starting with those points, that allows you to, number one, determine, do you need to get a legal structure? And with the legal structure will come an EIN, so EIN number. So you're not applying for things in doing and conducting business in your personal social security number. So everything starts with the legal structure. And even if you think that maybe you're not ready for a LLC, a corporation, a C Corp, S Corp, that's fine. Then there are legal structures for sole proprietors. But it starts with the structure, number one. Number two, after that, you're able to get a business checking account. Now, a lot of people that I've talked to in the cosmetology industry say, oh, I've got a business checking account. And I find out after I investigate, it's a checking account they use for business, but the bank doesn't know it's a business account. And those are two very different things, because the whole reason of having a business is there are things that cannot attach to your business account. If you have child support issues, student loan issues, there are things that you want to conduct your business properly and set it up to your business. So next step is getting the business checking account, but you can't do that. So you've done step one with getting legally structured. So we got our legal structure, and there's not a right one size fits all. We help you to figure out what's the best structure for you. But step one is to get a legal structure. Step two is to open up your business checking account. Your business checking account is the framework of your business. That is, two critical things happen with a business checking account. One, it's your opportunity to build a business relationship. And so just like with any relationship, every relationship takes courting, takes time to get to know each other. You want to know your banker, connect with your banker before you need to ask for money. You don't just go in and just right off the bat asking for money. You want to build a relationship with the banker, and you want to build a relationship with the bank that understands your business model. So we help you to navigate that. But that banking relationship. And then secondly, the banking relationship is important is because that's where you're going to start. You're going to do something that's a little bit maybe unfamiliar, doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel just all the way natural for you in the beginning. But after you do it, walked a lot of people through this. After you begin to do it, you'll fit right in the pattern of depositing your money in your business checking account, paying the bills from the business checking account, paying yourself. See, now how to determine how you pay yourself? Everything goes back to my step one, that legal structure. So the legal structure determines how you also get paid from the business checking account. A lot of people are used to, if a customer comes in the door and pays them $250 for a style, then they just keep the $250. No, we're talking about people who want to build sustainable businesses that outlive them, that actually give them what Shin talked about with being able to have a lifestyle you desire, which is a business that is greater than you. It's not a lifestyle business, it's an enterprise that can pay you, that can help you to reach your goals from that standpoint. So in order to know how to for you to get a payroll, it's based upon your legal structure. And so once we set those things out and that you operate the business checking account correctly, then we got to do what I call, you have to inspect what you expect. What I mean by that is we have to set our expectations. How should this business perform? How much money do you want to make by the end of the year? And then you're going to hear me say it again, backwards planning. How many people do you need to be in front of? How many people do you need to have servicing on your books in a week in order to hit that goal? How many people do you need to be reaching out to? Because we all know just because they're on the books doesn't mean they'll come. But this is your revenue. This is your business. You're not going to leave it up to the customer to decide what you make in a week. You're going to decide what you make in a week, in a month, in a year. And so we do backwards planning so that you understand your numbers from that standpoint so that you can hit your goal. Whatever your goal is, there's a roadmap to hit that. Whatever you say you want your profit to be, your revenue to be, there's a roadmap to hit that. And so that's important for you to do that. You have to set the expectation. Then you have to inspect what you expect. What I mean by that, you have to get accounting done. You have to have a system of really every month analyzing what came in, what went out, what was the total income, what was the total expenses, what's the business's net worth. And when you do that, that holds you accountable. That helps you to understand a couple of things. One, am I going to hit the goals that I've set for myself? There's no reason to be thinking that you're to set a goal, you're excited, you're setting a goal. Everybody's got bold goals coming in 2020, clear vision, but it's not going to be clear if you do not understand your numbers. So that accounting helps you to understand your numbers so you can see if you're on track to hit the goals that you set. And then the wonderful thing about it, the worst thing that can happen is not that you don't hit your goal. The worst thing is to not hit your goals and not even know that you're not going to hit your goals. But if you know that, if you see in February, hey, I'm off course, then that allows you to dial back and determine why you're off course. A lot of times when I'm talking with people, with barbers or stylists, sometimes it's because about their inventory. You know, your time is inventory, right? And so how much inventory you put out in the market, making yourself available, is attached to revenue. And if you'd be surprised how many people are not maximizing they want to make a certain amount, but they're not even making enough inventory available. And then I have those who are maxed out on inventory. They literally are working day in, day out. They can't get a day off, and they're in demand. I love working with those individuals because that's a great problem to have, because that just means you have to think broader game. You have to play a bigger game. You have to determine how to now put a premium service because you've got maximum inventory. So that's the kind of things we look at, but you can't begin to look at those things without having accounting. The numbers do not lie. And so in order to know what the numbers are, you got to have a system for accounting. Once you have a system for accounting, then we have to render unto Caesar what is due to Caesar, which is the IRS. And so I just finished, as we're preparing for tax season, this coming tax season, about 4 tax update courses I went to. Why would I go to 4 tax updates in 1 year? Because it's that many tax changes. So if the person doing your taxes is not staying compliant and in knowledge, I can tell you that you may be missing out on a lot of crucial deductions, important information, compliance, because there's things that are forever changing in this industry. And so it's important for you to file your tax return, but you don't want to be filing your tax return in what I call reactive mode. You want to be proactive. The clients that we work with on a monthly basis, in October, in late September, early October, they knew what their tax return is going to look like next year. They're just waiting on the forms to come. They already know the results because that's tax planning. And so the tax preparation is just the actual conducting the business. And then it's another opportunity at the end of the year to go back and say, what am I going to do differently this next year? And so there's so many things beyond just the main services that barbers and beauticians and stylists can do and offer to take your business to the next level. And we help you do that, because a lot of times when you are one woman or one man show, you feel like you're wearing all the hats, right? And you're like, well, if I had the benefit of having a CFO or a person that's over my marketing department, or a person that would help with sales, or the person who would help analyze that, would be great. Well, guess what? We become your dream team. We become your back office CFO, holding you accountable. There's 2 different positions you play in your business. You can play the position of working in your business, or you can play the position of working on your business. Now, at some point, every business owner does both of them, hopefully. Because there's a lot of people that will only work in the business and never work on the business. Not good. But there are some that start off working in the business, but they move to only working on the business because they move beyond the money, beyond revenue being generated just off of what they do, which Chin is the expert in that, to revenue being generated off of the power of your mind, your brand, your knowledge, your skill set. So now that's the next level. That's the next level right there. And so working in your business versus on your business, what we try to do is help you bridge a time to do both of those adequately. So you need to have a time where you stop every month to assess and review how has the business been performing. And I'm going to do that with you. Our team is going to do that with you so that you can see what's happening and you can make decisions off of real numbers, not off of, I think I did. My style sheet says that I made this amount, but I have no idea how much I spent. I know that I have this many customers that I'm seeing, but I don't see where the money's at. I don't have anything to show for it at the end of the year. Those conversations, those are lifestyle business conversations. People who are using their money as their lifestyle. They earn $2, they spend $2. We're after helping people who want to build something that's greater than them, that's sustainable, profitable. That's what we do.
Now, a lot of barbers and stylists have their family members or friends or these cheap franchises to do their taxes. Tell us why they should not do that. Let me know, did you hear that question, Marquita? I think we got a pause in here. Okay, so
Okay.
I had asked you the question because the majority of barbers and stylists out here got their family members, friends, or some cheap franchise doing their taxes. And tell us why they shouldn't do that. They need to know that.
Yes, absolutely. Number one, I don't know if sometimes people do realize this, some people don't. When you're having friends do your taxes, you are ultimately responsible for what they are putting on the return. Now, you're responsible for anything that anyone puts on the return, but the difference is when you have a preparer, an accountant that works with you, they're signing that return as a paid preparer. So the IRS is aware that you're leaning on their knowledge and their expertise to help prepare that return. So number one, when you're using friends and family or people who say, oh, I won't sign the return, that ought to be a red flag for you to run, because that then means you're going to be the only one talking to the IRS. You're going to be the only one that can speak to what's happened on the return. But in reality, you may not even know what went on the return. Dangerous game to play. And then secondly, most importantly, do they have the expertise? It's like going to someone, hey, well, better than that. You guys all know the value of how many years of service you've put into this industry. For you to have someone who pops up at the kitchen sink that thinks they can do what you can do, and they've without all the education, the time that you put into it, right? There is value in that knowledge. There's wisdom in the longevity of being in it. And so you want to make sure that individuals are, number one, up to speed on the current tax laws. I was at a tax seminar for Missouri Society of Professional Accountants. It was over 300 people in the room, and there was only one accountant that was African American, and that was me, out of 300 professionals.
300?
And I'm 300 accounting professionals for the Missouri Society of Accounting Professionals for a tax update seminar. And I'm thinking, where's everyone getting their tax update information from? If they're not there. Now I realize there is a level of game, there's access to play. That means you got to be willing to pay to go to those tax update courses. And so you want to work with people who are willing to invest in their business, invest in staying current on the knowledge. And so walking out of that seminar, they talked about the number of preparers that are doing taxes based upon knowledge from 2003. That is scary, because the IRS's number one target right now for audits are small cash-based businesses that are sole proprietors. You want to know why? Because they're normally not getting advice, direction from paid professionals who are up to speed on what you can or cannot do. So if you are in a deficit and you need money, you go after low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit right now are small business owners that do not have accountants that are trained. And so another thing you want to look for is, does the accountant have a P-10 number? A P-10 number is issued by the Internal Revenue Service, and it's a way the IRS tracks and, number one, qualifies individuals that are going to do taxes so that they're aware, and two, they track their tax returns. Well, guess what? Those professionals that are not taking tax update courses, they're not sending their letter of updates to the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS knows they don't have the knowledge, and they're just out there kind of winging it. Who do you think they're going to review? And if you're part of their group, because they're operating the taxes off of old information, you have a lot of risk that you're taking exposure for. So this is your business. I say, most importantly, this is your business. Just like we will put insurance on our car, we put insurance on our home, but you better ensure the person guiding the thing that's giving you revenue, that's feeding your family, your children, you better make sure that they understand and they know what they're talking about, and they're not just making stuff up. A lot of folks making stuff up.
Now, I had a question. A lot of barbers and stylists, they want to purchase homes. So what should they be doing? I know they should contact you so you can get all their stuff in order. But can you give them some tips on what they should be doing right now if they plan on wanting to purchase a home, and tell them certain things if they're not doing, why they're going to be turned down?
Gotcha. So one of the first things, if your goal is to purchase a home and you're self-employed, then the first thing you want to do is you want to pull your credit report. You cannot guess at this game. You need to pull your credit report so that you understand where your credit is at, what your credit score is at. There's 3 credit bureaus. So you want to understand that. Now you can easily also work with the mortgage company by applying, actually just for applying, and they're going to pull your credit report for you, and they're going to tell you based upon the type of home that you want, what the cost is, the cost of the home is, how much you'd have to have an income to qualify. So people have the goal of home ownership, but they have to answer 2 questions. 1, what kind of home do I want? What kind of home can I afford? And once you understand that and you settle on a number, then you have to look to understand, what does it take to qualify for that home? I work with people who will say, oh, I want to have a house that's, $350,000. But guess what? They've been self-employed. They write off all their expenses. Their business has no income, or the business has no profit. Who's going to loan to that business who's negative, and that's, only getting that every year only shows a small amount of income? Probably not someone who's a banker. So that the first thing to do is, number 1, understand your credit, identify how much that you want, you're going to need to how much you need to qualify, income you need to have to qualify for the home that you need to have at this phase. It's all about phases. No one jumps out getting their dream home on the first home typically. So for this phase of your life, and then at that point, you need to look at your numbers. I go back to it. You got to be able to look at your numbers, because the banker's not going to just go off of the fact that you say you make a certain amount. They want to inspect what you're telling them. So you've got to have accounting done. You've got to have taxes done. You definitely got to have a tax return done, because you're going to have to turn that in to support what you say that you're making. But before you even go that far, you want to see, does your tax return, a lot of people, here's what's so funny. When it comes to qualifying for something, people always say they make more money. But when it comes time to filing the taxes, they didn't make any money. So now you're going to have to use the tax return to substantiate what you told them you're making. So your tax returns are a barrier for you, or can be a barrier if you're not properly planning for you to get a home. Or they can be the access for you to get a home, because they can substantiate. But really, you have to be in front of it. You cannot afford to be reactive, where you decide in 3 months that you want to get a home, but you've already done your taxes. You weren't thinking about that at that point. At that point, the most important thing was a refund, because you want to go out and buy some more furniture, which you bought the furniture last year. You have to start thinking a bigger picture of, what am I doing with my money? How am I planning to spend the money? How am I planning to invest it? What kind of return on investment do I want to get from this business, so that you will be able to get the things that you desire to get?
So if a barber, stylist, beauty professional, they working for themselves, they got their own shop or working in a shop, how can they get their own home? What are some of the things that you're going to put in place so they would be able to get this home, and how long is it going to take for them to get it?
So one of the things we're going to do is review where their tax return is at, after we find out what is their mortgage company what do they need to qualify for. Now, if they're not working with a mortgage company, we're going to do some backwards planning to tell you, based upon the house value, the house that you want, this is how much income you've got to have. Then we're going to look at what you have coming in, what you have going out, so we can tell you how close you are or how far away you are from hitting that number. Then we're going to ask you to make the decision. Are you serious about wanting this home, or do you want to scale down to another home that you can reach based upon the income you have? Whichever direction you go is going to take us with a set of plans to get you there. But it's going to start with, number 1, sometimes setting up a legal entity. In some instance, you may need to set up a legal entity. Number 2, you may actually have to be on a payroll so that you can have verifiable income, especially if there's credit challenges. 2 things that work against you with a home ownership is if you have challenging credit and you have unverified income, meaning you don't have a W-2. Those are 2, bad credit plus that, disaster. But so if we can remove one of them by you having verifiable income, now that puts you back in the driver's seat. So we're going to help you to navigate through that barrier from that standpoint. And it's not, the world is not over if you have bad credit. We're going to help you identify what is wrong, and what do you, there's been a lot of changes in the whole credit industry and how you move forward with that from that standpoint. So it comes down to the things that we're going to do to help you to prepare: legal structure, payroll, reviewing your tax return, and then connecting you to resource providers to help you if you have challenges in those areas so that you can get a yes at a certain time. It's not, I tell people all the time, it's never a no. It's just a matter of it's a yes, but when is it a yes based upon the numbers you have? So we're going to create you a roadmap of when it's obtainable. For some people, I was actually met with someone probably in the summer that thought they're, as a result of a video that we did here, thought that they would not be able to achieve home ownership. And they actually, after our, we had a session together and talked and analyzed their business, come to find out they had great credit. And when they hadn't filed taxes, so they had to bite the bullet and go back and file the taxes. We had to pull everything together to show them how to do that. They were able to do that. They had their tax returns. They was able to purchase a home. So for some people, it could be immediately. For others, it could take some time. But the key is, it will never be possible if you do not set the goal and get moving towards the goal. You're going to be closer than you ever were if you at least analyze it and see where you're at so you can get a game plan to get you there.
Now, there's going to be a lot of barbers, stylists, beauty professionals. They're going to be watching this on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, because a lot of them watched the last YouTube video that you did for us where you gave a lot of great information. Now, for the ones that's watching that and they kind of scared, do you do consultations? What can you do on the front end?
Absolutely. So what we do, because Chin is one of our preferred vendors and we just love working with him, is that for anybody, listen closely, for anybody watching this, we do a free, did you hear the word free, meet and greet with you. All you have to do is call the office, 816-444-0004. That's 816-444-0004. And you'll get scheduled for a free meet and greet. During that time, that allows me to understand what connected you. What did you hear from the video that resonated with you? What changes do you want to make? What are your goals to accomplish? And then from there, we build a roadmap of how to get you there. And then that goes into a consultation session. That will be a fee, but it's determined based upon what you need. For some people, they need to get taxes done. For others, they need to get accounting. So the fees are from there, but we tell you what the next step is from that meet and greet and cost from that standpoint. But the initial is free because of the phone, because the connection you have with Chin.
Now, you've worked with a lot of barbers and stylists, people in the beauty profession. What are some of the things that you see repetitiously or over and over?
Over and over, one of the top things is failure to file, honestly, where someone hasn't filed for multiple years. And I tell people, judgment-free zone, because people typically go into there like, oh, I don't want to tell you this, you're going to think bad. Nothing you tell me is probably the worst that I've heard, to be very honest. So failure to just even filing, period. And then the second thing is filing with inaccurate information. The goal was a refund as opposed to long-term vision. So their numbers weren't their real numbers. So we help them to get a roadmap to get that corrected. The other thing is them not even understanding their numbers, having no system to know beyond what they made, what they spent. So we help them with that standpoint. And then the other thing that I hear over and over again is, you know, I'm working this business, money's coming in, but I don't seem to be getting any further than I was in with this model than I was years ago. And it comes down to the mindset. So I tell them, we've got to play a different game. Instead of being a lifestyle business where the money's coming in, you spend the money, we've got to get really serious about this, about your future, about what you want to see this company do, and you got to treat it like a business. It just so happens you're the business owner, but I tell them all the time, you're going to be the CEO, but you're going to deposit this money, you're going to operate this company like it's a company, because it is a company, and so that it can be sustainable and profitable. I think I probably had that conversation a great deal, but what's so amazing is to talk to the individuals that after we have that conversation, they get their plan, they're working their plan, they're getting their W-2s, they're filing their taxes. Some of them are even still getting refunds. Here's what's crazy. Because after they do the payroll, some of them are entitled to refunds, but now their business is legal structured and they're able to get financing and move forward to accomplish goals. We've had some we had one individual who was operating a bar, doing barbering for his garage. He's now in a shop, and he's now in a shop and on the way to, he's been saving his own money to build his own shop out the way he's wanted it. It's doable. Same, it's just intention. It's intention. And so being intentional. And so really proud of him. He's out of New Jersey. And so just really proud of his steps that he took from being in his garage.
And you work with people all over the United States.
All over the United States. Absolutely, we do. Because location doesn't matter. We are able to, that meet and greet is by phone call in the beginning, or even by Zoom if we want to, from the standpoint of the things that we're going to tell you that needs to happen. We work that out via with technology by email, phone calls, and that kind of thing. So yeah, location is doesn't matter. Technology has allowed us to be just as close as we need to be to you.
Okay, you shared a lot of stuff with us, and this will be going on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all over social media. And I'm going to send this out to Razor Chick's email list, Kim Kimball's email list, a lot of the beauty influencers. Now, how can they contact you? I'm also going to tag this, and in the YouTube video, I'm going to put that 816-444-0004.
Yes, that is the best way. We often get a lot of people. I am active on Facebook. I'm active on all the social media platforms. And so, but the best way is to call and schedule a meet and greet, or you can even email in. Our email is info, that's INFO, at F like 5, S like star, T like tax, KC.com. You can send an email and request it, and you'll get that scheduled as well. So by phone call, by email, we do have people who will reach out to our Facebook page and send questions, but ultimately we're still going to redirect because we need to, it's just too, we're talking about your business. We're not going to have a conversation about your business completely in the messenger. We got to take it to the next level. So yes.
Now, are you on Instagram too?
I am on Instagram.
What's the name?
I'm at Marquita M. Miller. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Okay. Anything you like to leave us with? Because a lot of people are going to be calling you.
I would say that the key is to not just listen to this, but you've obviously said that when you listen to it, but now to write down based upon what you heard, what are the 3 things that when you were listening to this, that resonated with you, that you know immediately you need to change, that you need to take action, that you want to see results? What are your top 3 things? And when you call, let's be prepared to talk about those 3 things so that we can begin to help you move from where you are to where you desire to be. And I can promise you this. If you commit to the process, you will be further down the road than where you are it's just focusing on your business. Anything we focus and give time and attention to is going to grow if you give time and attention with expertise, of course. It's going to grow. And so we love to partner with you, work with you. Again, for some people, they start with the consultation and they have, that's the other thing. We have people that often they'll say, I've got someone who does my taxes, or I have an accountant, but the accountant's not advising me, or they're not familiar. Can you talk with us still? Sure, we'll talk with them. We've had people who've had the consultation and they put their accountant on the call from that standpoint for us to have a conversation. And ultimately, we had just had someone who their mom was doing their taxes, and at the end of the call, the mom was like, you need to get this stuff done right. I didn't know nothing about all this other stuff. You need to get this woman to help you. So that's no problem at all. We are not here to try to steal you from your current people. We're here to help you with the unanswered, unresolved items that have not been obviously taken care of. We want to help you move from where you are to where you desire to be.
Now, last but not least, these franchise tax places that just pop up, and then these people can just go to like a little mini kindergarten course, and now they're a tax expert. Hit on that before you leave, because
yes,
barbershop, beauty salon, they always talking about that. And I'm saying, no, y'all need to call Marquita. Quit going to these little Walmart places and the little tax franchise. So go ahead and break that down.
Yes. So the key is from the standpoint, are you going to be able to connect with that person? It's important for you to be able to be able to connect with them, because here's a key. Audits typically don't happen in the same year. So like, for example, we're in 2019, we're going to file 2019 tax returns. This past summer, the IRS was auditing 2017. So let's say you went to one of those places that just popped up in the mall and you get a notice from 2017. Can you find that person? Do you even know how to connect with that person? We've been in business 20 years. Every month I'm on Channel 4 and Channel 5. On Channel 5, on Channel 5, I'm the Money Matters girl. On Channel 4, I'm the business coach. And so you want to make sure that you have somebody you are able to connect with, reference back, and they will stand behind their work. This overnight instant success, and people who say, oh, I can get you this amount of refund, that no one can tell you how much of a refund that they can get you without looking at paperwork. That is just the truth. Those are gimmicks. And so don't be taken advantage of with that. This is your business. This is not something that you're just toying around with. This is your livelihood. And so don't fall for the okie doke. Make sure that you get someone who will stand by you if the rubber meets the road, because at the end of the day, you're picking somebody who just set up in a van. I've heard about that too. Parked in a mall parking lots in a van. They got a sign saying they're going to give $8,500 refunds. Where will that van be when the IRS contacts you?
All right. Well, I thank you very much. And they can contact you by calling
816-444-0004. Again, 816-444-0004. We look forward to talking to you.
Thank you very much, Marquita.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate you sharing your platform and all the tremendous things that you are doing to help business owners around the country take their brand to another larger game. So,
all right, we'll talk. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.